Hello everybody and welcome back yet again to another daily update video. My name is CryptoStash and I hope you're having an amazing week. Currently it is Thursday and let's get right into the charts as we do have some very important things to cover. Firstly, Bitcoin is dumping after a swing failure pattern and rejection from that weekly pivot resistance. The last one, R3, you can see we did kind of get an swing failure pattern from this high. The previous high that we have made, you can see if we measure it like this, we failed to reclaim close basically the candle above this high. The price struggled right here, and as you can see, we got a massive candle right now on the daily time frame, which is absolutely insane. Almost 5.5% dump directly back in that range. We are currently sitting at the POC of this range, basically where most of the volume is traded, and price right now is slowly targeting that weekly pivot, which has not yet been hit. So I am expecting some kind of a bigger support right here at the weekly pivot for Bitcoin. Now this dump, in my opinion, you can see it is caused by this swing failure pattern and this rejection from the weekly R3, but also the PPI data, basically the inflation came in way higher. As you can see, actual less than forecast is good for crypto, but right here we did get a lot. The forecast is 0.2, we got 0.9, which is absolutely insane. So this is why Bitcoin is dumping. The stock market though has not yet been affected that much. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq, they are still keeping strong above the all-time high that we previously had. Right now still in above that weekly R1. So basically we are slightly below the all-time high. We basically on the Nasdaq got only, if we measure down to that R1, basically we got 1.1% of a correction, which is not much, but Bitcoin and the altcoins, Ethereum right here from the high that we have made, did made a almost 7% of a correction, as you can see right now. So the weekly pivot of ETH has also not been tested yet. So if we go all the way up from the all-time high to that weekly pivot, that would be a 16% of a correction basically. SUI right now also, it did tag that weekly pivot slightly, almost touching that value area low of this range right here. Price is still going down basically, as you can see. The Bitcoin dominance potentially creating on the 4-hourly time frame a kind of a double bottom right here, you can see, of the sitting at the S2, basically the second weekly pivot support for the Bitcoin dominance. This is why also Ethereum is showing some weakness after being basically this strong to the upside. Same goes, you can see, for Bitcoin. I think on the daily, no, we did not hit that line on the RSI, but on the 4-hourly we did get also some kind of a bearish divergence, you can see right here, which also sent the price down. But in my opinion, this move to the downside is because of the inflation being, the data being way higher, PPI today. We do have also tomorrow on Friday some very important news. Basically, you can see there for the inflation again. So we might see some more volatility and potentially we can go to the downside some more. Basically potentially down to some of the weekly pivot supports for Bitcoin if we lose the weekly pivot right here. Also, if we look at the liquidation heat map, Bitcoin does have some liquidity to grab down to 111, almost 112k. Basically we do have liquidity sitting at least to this price target, basically, which would take us to, as I said, that second weekly pivot support, which would, from the all-time high measured, would be not a big correction. You can see that would be not even a 10% correction for Bitcoin. For Ethereum, if we go down to the weekly pivot, as I said, that would be a 16% correction. If we lose the weekly pivot, we might go down to that weekly pivot S1, which is 3700. That would be a way bigger retracement for it of about 22% basically, which in my opinion would be a good buy if this run to the upside isn't over and we go back into some kind of a consolidation for Ethereum, but this time consolidation above this highs right here. So we might see something like this, but we might also get back into that range and then do something like this. This is also a very possible scenario for Ethereum. Now for Bitcoin on the hard time frame, as I said, it is very possible that right now, after a rejection from the all-time highs, Bitcoin might finally see some more momentum to the downside. RSI is still to the upside basically, but if price starts dropping, we might see even a below 100k Bitcoin once again. But firstly, as I said, we want to see that 112k. I'm waiting a reaction from Bitcoin at those levels, basically 111 to 112k. If they do not hold, then I will be expecting lower price targets. But as of right now, everything to me looks out a fake out. In my opinion, we might still continue this run, or it might be over. As I said, we did get a good enough move to the upside. Now we have still to reach the target that is the last yearly R3. Basically, you can see 150k, but we failed, as I said, to get above the yearly pivot R2, basically 223k. Is a very strong resistance, and as you can see, for a second time Bitcoin is getting rejected from that yearly R3, which is we actually didn't manage to break out of it and close a candle. So this is a very bearish rejection. So we might even see Bitcoin go down to 106k, and that would be a potential retest of the previous all-time high and a retest of the yearly R1 as support this time. And then we might see Bitcoin start running again, but this will take some time to play out. So I am expecting a potential chop here, or as I said, if this takes some time to play out, we might see this going down until October or September, something like this. And then once Q4 starts, basically, then we are going to see that potential move to the upside and finally breaking this double top and this pattern right here. Basically, we need, as I said, to have a candle close above the yearly R2. Otherwise, I can't see Bitcoin to continue higher. Stock market still holding pretty nice. We might see some kind of a bigger correction in the stock market as well tomorrow. You know, Friday there can be manipulation happening in the stock market as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing what will happen. And so this will be it for today's update video, guys. I hope you liked it. Subscribe for the channel, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.